Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this particular video we are going to be talking on a particular topic. This topic is very important, and what is that topic? This is how to run a successful fashion school. Yeah, so this is a topic that many of us have been asking about. It's not like most of us don't see it on the internet, but the truth there is that we see it, but the answers they usually give is more like a textbook answers. Do you understand? So today I'm going to be giving you answers from my own experience, not from textbook. So that is what I promise you in this particular video. I'm going to be giving you everything from my experience. You're going to be learning from my mistakes. Do you understand? And if you have any opinion, please, I want you to make sure you drop it in the comment section, because your opinion might help another person in this particular video. Do you understand? Like, there are a lot of people watching me right now, so drop your opinion in the comment section. It's going to help anybody, even me. Do you understand? So before we start this particular topic, how to run a successful fashion school, there's something I would really like to say, and this is very important. And what is that? It's all about internship. Yes, internship. Now, before you open up a fashion school, I notice what most of us usually do. We are always in a hurry. The moment you finish your fashion academy, you go ahead to open a shop, or you go ahead to open a fashion school. For me, I think that is not right. I think you really have to be patient enough to build yourself. Do you understand? Now, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, immediately you finish your fashion school, you can go ahead, either in the same fashion school or somewhere else, go ahead, try to work with someone, or probably your boss, someone who has experience. Because the only thing you learned was just probably how to draft patterns and how to do the stitching. What of the managerial part of the knowledge? What of the financial part of the knowledge? Do you understand? What of the sales part of the knowledge? Like, you really have to learn a lot. So what I usually advise people is, the moment you finish, whether in the same place you learned or another place, you can do it by internship. Do you understand? Internship is more like working for particular months, like for a period of some months. Do you understand? This will enable you gain experience. Or you can go ahead to look for a place to work, a place that has what you are looking for, a place that have what you are looking for. Do you understand? Try to work there for a few months. Do you understand? Then when you are done working there, what it means is that you have actually gotten the knowledge, how they run their company. Do you understand? Where, like, there are different blocks where they do embroidery, where they buy fabrics, and how they buy it cheap. There's something that most of us don't even know. Sometimes you buy your diesel or you buy your fuel for a particular price, that is the public price, but it might surprise you to know that some persons have a way of buying their fuel or their diesel at a cheaper rate. Do you understand? So you can only know this only if you work with people that do this. Do you understand? So how can you know this? Just make sure is either you go for internship, or is either you work for such persons. So if you are watching me right now, please, I want you to make sure this is the first thing you have to do. If you have not done it, if you have not gotten this experience, try to make sure you get it. But if you have gotten it, I think you should proceed. Do you understand? So the first thing you need to do, apart from getting the experience of internship, do you understand, or working with your boss, the first thing you need to do is, like everybody will say, is for you to look for a good location. Yes, most of us usually say that you need a good location, a location that is of a target. Do you understand? A place that many people will have to see you. Even if you sign a contract with a company, it will be easy to locate. Do you understand? I know all these things are very good. I will also advise you to make sure you get a good location. But based off of my experience, what I'm trying to say now is that the location is not actually the primary for me. It might be for other persons. For me, I think apart from the location, there are other very important stuffs you need to do. Do you understand? Like I've said, it's okay if you look for a good location, but there are other important things for you to do. Now, most people will also tell you that you need to be passionate enough. Do you understand? You need to have the zeal in order for you to run a successful fashion school. Okay, like I used to say, all those things are very good. Both the zeal, both the passion, and both the location, they are very good. But there are other important things which we need. And what are those things? So number one is, you must, remember we're talking about fashion school here, so number one is that you must get a good instructor for your school. That one is compulsory. Do you understand? In a situation whereby you are running a fashion school, so teaching is actually your product. Do you understand? It's like it's like you are selling your product to the public. So you are selling it to potential fashion students. So what are you selling is the knowledge, and who is responsible to give the knowledge? That is the instructor. So that's why I said you must have a very good, if not perfect, instructor. Do you understand? Instructor that have the skills if I may even advise you, this instructor, whenever you are getting the instructor, you need to make sure the instructor is very, very qualified. Do you understand? So in a situation whereby you are the one that is going to teach, you are the instructor, because it's not everybody that will have the money or that can afford an instructor. So let's say you are good. Do you understand? So that is the same thing I'm trying to say. Make sure you are good. Now, like I said previously, in a situation whereby you did not have experience, how are you going to impart this knowledge to your own students? It's not going to work out. Do you understand? So that's why I said you must make sure you go through internship. You must work with people that know about the craft very, very well, so that in a situation whereby you are the one that is going to be teaching, so this will enable you teach properly. Do you understand? This will enable you guide your students properly. So that is the first thing you need to do. You need to make sure you get a very good instructor, or you need to be that good instructor who has experience and all the qualifications to handle any students that comes to your school. Do you understand? Okay, that is the first one. Then the second one, which is very, very important, I know most of us neglect this one, is punctuality. And also, you need to be punctual to work. Like, you need to always come to work early. You need to always be in the office. Do you understand? So that whenever your students arrive, they will see you there. So this thing now, I know most of us used to, whenever you now have your own place, you have your students. I know most times we want to be the one that is always coming last. But the truth there is that we usually teach by example. In a situation whereby you come very early in your school, you are indirectly teaching your students that you must come early to work in order to make it in life. Do you understand? So punctuality, come early and always make sure you are in the office at the right time, because at the end of the day, you'll be surprised that you miss so many opportunities, especially those times that you weren't in the office. Do you understand? You are going to miss so many opportunities. So that's why I usually say that you must be punctual. You must always be in attendance in your office, in your school. It is very, very important. It's going to help your students have that nice and better mentality on how to become a great fashion designer. So number 3, which is one of the most important, is the relationship with your students. Now, there are lots of abnormalities that happens in fashion school when it comes to relationship. Sometimes you hear some students say that my boss is too harsh. Sometimes you hear some students say that my boss is too soft, he doesn't know how to handle things. So the question now is that which one are you going to, which position are you going to be? Is it the harsh part or is it the soft part? Now the truth is that most times I usually tell people that you just have to be yourself. You don't have to, maybe your boss was very harsh and you too, you want to be very harsh, while you are not really a harsh person. Do you understand? Either way, you can also be able to convey your message to your students. So what am I trying to say? Just like for me, for example, I'm very playful with my students, and at the same time, I usually tell them that there is time for everything. There is time for play, there is time for seriousness. Do you understand? If in a situation you do something that have to discipline you, I will obviously do that. Do you understand? So this relationship, let's say in a situation whereby you have this good relationship with your students, is going to help them, how do I say it? It's going to affect them mentally in a positive way. It's going to make them know that you are always there for them. Do you understand? So in a situation whereby they have questions to ask you, they can easily do that. Do you understand? But in a situation whereby they think they don't have a good relationship with you, my dear, I promise you, even if they want to ask you any question, they can never do that. Now, let me tell you one story. There's this thing that usually happens when we are in primary schools and secondary schools. Do you understand? Probably high schools too. Do you understand? It happens. If a teacher annoys you, or maybe a teacher flops you, at the end of the day, you now notice that no matter how beautiful or no matter how handsome that teacher is, the teacher will not be having a big head. Like, you are going to be looking at the teacher as a beast. Do you understand? So what is the meaning of this? You need to keep a good relationship with your students so as to make sure that they are not always afraid of you, so that they can be able to ask you questions anytime, any day. So guys, the next one we are going to be talking about is about the topics which you are teaching your students. So let's say, for example, you are finished teaching them a particular topic, how to make a corset, and at the end of the day, you give them their own project to make, and you now notice that they didn't actually do well. Their general performance is not that okay. What do you have to do? Do you have to go to the next topic, or do you have to go back to the previous topic? Now, for me, my own advice is that you have to go back to that same topic. Yes, you shouldn't be in a rush to, teach all the topics, while at the end of the day they did not even assimilate very well, they did not even understand the one which you have actually taught. So what I usually tell people is repeat the topics which they didn't really understand. Now in a situation whereby the majority actually understood it, so that is now when you need to go over to the next topic. But you also need to make sure you carry along those that did not understand. Do you understand? You need to make sure they really grab that particular topic very well. It is very important, because this thing has ruined so many fashion schools. In a situation whereby you see them, they are learning all sort of designs, all sort of styles, but at the end of the day, when you see their students, they cannot even be able to do the basic things a fashion student is supposed to do. So this is why I said, if your student did not really get a particular topic very well, remember they are not computer, if they did not get a particular topic very well, make sure you repeat it. It's not about the time, it's about how well. Do you understand? I don't do it by how long or how fast. What I do is how well. So let's go back to the next line. So the next line is your rules and regulations. Do you understand? As a fashion school, as an organization, as a company, whichever one you want to call yourself, you need to have rules and regulations guiding your school. Rules and regulations guiding both the student, the staff, everybody, even you yourself. You have to follow those rules and regulations. It is very important. Let's say, for example, in my own school, I have this particular rule. And what is that rule? The way we usually learn is, when we finish a particular topic, we do the theoretical and we do the practical on pattern paper. I also do the practical, that is, we measure, we sew. Whenever we finish that, I usually expect my students to present their own. They will really start doing this, do you understand? To present it the next week. So in a situation whereby you did not present your own, there is no way you'll be in the next class. Do you understand? So this is more like a rule, a standing rule that they must obey. So this enables your students to work efficiently. Do you understand? It makes them to be serious with what they are here for. Do you understand? So you need to have rules guiding. Let's say, for example, there's another rules. Now, you guys know that in an organization, if anything spoils, any equipment spoils, the organization has to take care of it. But in a situation whereby it is carelessly condemned or spoiled by a particular staff or a student, that student has to replace it. Do you understand? So what is going to be the function of this particular rule? Now this rule is going to help so as to make everybody to be careful while handling any equipment in the school. Do you understand? So your rules and regulations are very important. Now we still have another rules and regulation. Let me tell you guys this particular one. We have these rules and regulations that in my school there is nothing like violence. Do you understand? There's nothing like violence. So if anybody abuses any other person, whether physically, morally, the person has to, pay for it. Yes, the person has to pay a fine for it. Now, in most cases, I usually tell them to, okay, since we use plastic seats, that you have to buy plastic seats, like 5, and you also have to go for a 2 weeks suspension. So in that case, you notice that before anybody want to touch any other person based on violence, they must surely think about this. They must surely think about it if they really want to go home for 2 weeks and spend a lot of money in buying seats which others are going to be using. In fact, the person that is also going to be using it is the same person that probably he or she wanted to quarrel with. Do you understand? So whenever they think of this, I think in most cases they usually advise themselves to stay calm and cool. So these rules and regulations are very important in every organization, likewise in your fashion school, so as to help your fashion school to be successful. Because there's something I really have to say. If an environment is not peaceful, there is no way things will go very well in that particular place. Do you understand? So you don't need for your environment to be always, like, for people to always arguing violently, you know, for people to be fighting and all these other things. No, you don't need it, because it's going to distract your students, which is going to make you not to run your school successfully. So the next thing you need to know is that you need to invest in good equipment. Yes, it's very important to invest in good equipment, because in a situation where you want your fashion school to run very well, you must surely invest in good equipment. Now, example of those equipments are your sewing machine. Do you guys understand? You must invest in a good sewing machine. In a situation whereby you say, I see a lot of people, they say, I don't have money, all these ones. When it comes to me, even if I don't have money, I can go to the bank to get money just to buy a good equipment, because at the end of the day, this is what helps the student to really do a nice job. Do you understand? It's what helps the student to make sure they get their job done. So good equipments are okay, in fact, it's a sure banker. It is compulsory, it is a must. Now, another example of good equipment is your pressing iron. In a situation where you have a fashion school and your student cannot iron properly, at the end of the day, my dear, there's nothing they are doing there. So they must have a good functioning pressing iron. Do you understand? So when I mean good equipment, you must surely invest in good equipment. It's very important. So the next one we are going to be talking about now, which in most cases we have talked about before, is the power. What do I mean by power generation? We are talking about your electricity. So you should make sure you always locate your office or your school in a place that usually have light, that have stable light. It is very important. You guys know that we usually say light is life. Do you understand? Wherever there is light, there is life. Wherever there is no light, it's as if that place is very dull. Do you understand? The place usually used to be so quiet. Do you understand? So in a situation in your school there is no light, it's not going to energize your student to work very well. Like, everybody will be feeling dull. Do you understand? And they'll also be looking for light in order to do their ironing, to do some part of their stitching, for those that are using electric machines. Do you understand? So this light is very important. Like I said, in a situation whereby you've already located your office in a place that the lights are not stable, or probably the light was stable and when you came to that place their transformer had one or two problems, they have electricity problems, what I would advise you is to invest in electricity, like invest in power generating sets. Do you understand? Invest in your power generating systems. Like, it's very important. In fact, without light, without electricity, I don't think we are doing anything. We fashion designers. So for you to have a fashion school, you must be sure you have a generating system, a power generating system that is there for you, standby anytime you need it. Do you understand? So that is it for that particular one. So the next one we are going to be talking about now, which I think I've talked about previously, is a peaceful environment. Your environment must be peaceful. Do you guys understand? In a situation where my environment is not peaceful, we have different factions. We have faction A, faction B, faction C. Do you understand? The faction A, they don't like the faction B. The faction B, they don't like the faction C. And at the end of the day, you even see some factions that don't even like the teacher. At the end of the day, there'll be a lot of confusion and distraction in the school. So you must make sure you maintain a peaceful environment. And you can also do that by maintaining your rules and regulations, like I said previously. Do you guys understand? So there's another one I need to say, which that might be the last one, which we are going to be talking about now. Is, when I talked about relationship you need to have with your students, I was talking about, like, a time will come, no matter how free or no matter how good you are, you also need to be staying. What I mean by staying, you also need to be strict at some time. You also need to let your students know that they cannot go away with everything which they do. You also need to let them know that there is a time to be serious, there is a time to play. Do you understand? So that at least helps discipline them, such that everybody will behave very well. So if you do all these things, I don't think you are going to be running a company or a fashion school that is losing. Do you understand? There are many other things which you need to do in order to run a successful fashion school, and those things, which probably I'll be talking in my next video, or I also want you guys to do something. If you have other opinions, please make sure you put it in the comment section, because whatever you say is going to help some persons here. Do you understand? It's also going to help anybody, even me, because I don't believe that I know it all. Do you understand? I'm still learning. No one is actually perfect. So just put it in the comment section, guys. Put it in the comment section. It's actually going to help everybody here. Do you understand? So the final thing I need to say, which is very important, is that please don't rush into opening a fashion school or opening a fashion designing home. Please make sure you save up enough capital, which is even going to be helping you as you are running the company, because the first 3 years in running a particular company or an organization is usually hard. What we do is spending. So make sure you acquire enough capital. Make sure you get enough capital, which is going to help you, like I said, in the period of that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Make sure you acquire enough capital. I believe if you do all these things, you are going to be successful as a fashion designer. Do you understand? So the final thing I need us to say is, There is a book which I've been advertising for some time. I've not been too serious with it, and this book is called The Perfect Dress Cutting Guide. I actually wrote this book specially for my students. So, and I promise you, this book is going to help you learn how to cut different patterns. It's actually going to help you very, very well. I'm not just capping, I'm not saying it. If this book doesn't help you and probably you purchased it, please, you can actually refund it. I'll give you back your money. Do you understand? But it's not about giving back the money. What I just want to let you guys know that, because they say information is the key. If you don't know that is a book like this that is going to help you to achieve all your patterns easily, step-by-step instructions, is going to be hard. So that's why I'm telling you guys, so as for you to be aware. So if you want to get this book, you can get it on different platforms. We have it on Amazon, we have it on Seller. I can even give it to you directly as an ebook. But just go directly under this particular video. You are going to be seeing the book is read, The Perfect Dress Cutting Guide. Do you understand? You just click on it, go through the payment options and everything, and you get your own. Please don't fail to give me a review. You guys understand? Don't fail to give me a review, because it's very, very important you do that. Yes, when you give me a review, it will help me to be doing more for you guys. Do you understand? Give me a very, very nice review. Thanks, and may God bless you. Bye for now.